Welcome to my tutorial for Back to the Future Part 3 for the Sega Genesis. And this one's in my Playing with Shit series. It's a really bad fucking game. It took me around 1 hour, 49 minutes to beat. And I'm going to try to detail the general idea of beating the game. There's only 4 stages, but the game starts out super aggressive and memorization heavy and, very fast-paced and memorization heavy. So you want to learn what to do for each obstacle, and then you want to put it all together as the obstacles come at you. And sometimes you got to mix and match it, like you have to jump while ducking at the same time for some of the later boulders, which that part I was able to get on the first try. I'd seen a video and I was able to actually do that on the first try, but this part alone took me around 29 minutes to beat. So this could definitely be a roadblock for some players. I mean, you could potentially spend hours on this part. But it just depends how quick you're able to learn it. But you want to minimize getting hit. Every time you get hit, you lose time, and I think you can only get knocked down maybe 3 to 5 times before it ends. Now, in the Master System version, it's insanely hard to get to the end because the timer is super strict, it seems. But I got to try that version again. But in this version, the timer's not a huge issue. Generally, I think if you can make it to the end, you'll probably reach Claire in time and beat the stage. But it's hard to get to the end because you got to do this whole sequence pretty well. So you can also grab the various power-ups like the timers and stuff like that. I still don't really know what the power-ups do, but see, now I got to jump and duck. I think I only got knocked down once in this. Maybe not, maybe twice. But it was a pretty solid, run through the stage. But it was a lot of repetition of just basically memorization, and I substituted my bad memorization with, reaction skill, especially near the end where I didn't really know what was coming up. And also shooting left to right constantly can fill in some of those gaps with memorization because you can kill some shit before it hits you by just doing that preemptively, so that helps. Now, in this shitty little shooting gallery, down is up and up is down, and I think there's 3 heights, so it's inverted aiming control for whatever reason. It's more shitty design. So basically, don't worry about shooting the ducks. Mainly focus on the cowboys and the flying geese and the guys in the windows, the cowboys in the windows. What I ended up doing was I just put turbo on one of my buttons because you don't get penalized for missing shots. It's only about your total score within a certain amount of time. So you got to get about 50,000 points, I believe. So just set the button to turbo and just keep firing the whole time. And while you're doing that, just focus on adjusting your aim height, basically. That's about it. If you do that, it's pretty easy. The next section was extremely difficult for me. It probably took me close to an hour to beat the next section. It shouldn't be hard, but the controls are just complete shit. Like the first section with the horse doesn't actually play bad, but it's really fucking aggressive to start the game out before you know the controls. But this plays like complete shit. This is really fucking bad. So in this you have to take out the 6 enemies and then you fight a boss. And each enemy maybe takes about 5 hits or so. So you're trying to throw the plates at all these 5 assholes that pop out. On the top left, it shows how much ammo you have in plates, and it also shows how many enemies are left. You have to reload your plates when you run out. You have to run back to the table and touch it, and you'll get your plates back. But as far as throwing goes, I was trying to roll my thumb and do all this crazy shit, and I was really hurting my thumb for a while. But a lot of it is just tapping left to face left or tapping up to face up, but you got to be aligned properly. There's also these weird curve plates that I was able to throw by kind of rolling my thumb as I throw the plates out, and sometimes it would curve and hit shit. And the main safe area that I try to hit all these targets from is this table right here where the plates are, because it's convenient to be able to get the plates as well when you run out, and you can just keep throwing them. And you don't seem to get shot as much from this table until maybe the end of the stage. When there's like 2 guys left, then it seems like they may start targeting the table more, but by that point, it's easier to deal with when you only have 2 guys left. But you're going to have to learn like exactly how to deal with each individual gunman, like how to hit each one. and then you're going to have to put it all together, so it's probably going to take some practice. I don't even have a good strat for it. It was a pain in the ass, but I did break through eventually. But you may be grinding that for a while, just trying to align the plates to hit the enemies. I'm able to do some curve shots here and hit that guy in that left window, but it's hard to do. It's hard for me to get that shot to work, but I'm kind of just rolling my thumb while throwing rapidly. Sometimes I would even turn turbo on to the controller for this part to just keep throwing plates while I'm rolling my thumb on the D-pad, and that would help. But you got to get all your positionings right so that you don't get shot to death. You can only take a few hits. You can take a decent amount, but it adds up fast. For the boss that comes out after all the enemies are dead, you want to just barrage him with plates as soon as he comes out the door, and he shouldn't get hit too much if you're ready for him to come out. So for this part, you got to grab these items in order. So first, it's the black one that I just grabbed, which you can barely see. Every time you use a ladder, you make a checkpoint. So keep that in mind. So even if you don't need to use the ladder, use it because it'll give you a checkpoint. When you get knocked back, you're going to go back to the last ladder. So you don't have lives in this final segment, but you have a timer that's pretty tight. You know, if you're getting hit a lot, you'll run out the timer. So you gotta finish it before the timer runs out. So go up this ladder just to get the checkpoint, and then get that book, that third one. Pay attention to where all of them are, so you grab them. There's another one. You can crawl here. It's better to crawl here, it seems. Jump up there, take this guy out. Use the ladder for the checkpoint. Actually, there's a book down there, so get that. I don't know if it's a book, whatever the fuck it is, but you gotta grab it. So now you're gonna jump here, crawl down here. You'll get another checkpoint and another one of these little books. And, you know, try to dodge what you can. It may take some trial and error. This is the easiest part of the game, though, so if you've gotten this far, you should be able to finish it. Grab this, and then you're going to jump from that box, but I fucked it up. At this point, I didn't know the level, so I was still kind of fucking around trying to figure it out. I knew the level up to this little point here, but then I was able to beat it. The game is weird. Like, if you jump from certain heights or fall from certain heights, all of a sudden you just die. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's really fucking anal. But it's not that hard. It's a short sequence. You just got to know what to grab and, you know, when to move. So you want to avoid these. I was able to avoid those on my first try, so I can't say if they can be more difficult, but I luckily made it through that. So yeah, that was about it. So this is a really shitty game. I'm going to try to go through some of the other ports of it. I'm working on the Master System port, which is the first sequence seems to be even worse. I've already spent an hour and a half on that horse riding sequence on the Master System, but I think maybe it's because I'm reloading states on an emulator to reset the segment, and I may be loading a bad random layout of the stage or something that's fucking me up, where I can't, even if I do it perfectly, I can't capture Clara quickly like people do in other videos, so I'm not sure. I'm going to try just playing it normally without loading the reset. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.